Captain, the weather radar has helped us a lot. Korean Air Safety Transformation. Those were the words of the flight engineer on board Korean Air Flight 801 in 1997 to his captain. To the exhausted captain, those words meant very little as they passed over his head. However, this fatal mistake resulted in the deaths of 228 people out of 254. Korean Air between 1988 and 1999 suffered 17 times more crashes than the average US airline, which was a statistical outlier. Plane crashes are an extremely rare occurrence, only one crash occurring among 1 million flights at that time. However, investigators found out the main cause of these crashes: high power distance and mitigated speech. In psychology, power distance means how much a society accepts unequal power relationships, like between a junior and a senior. In Korean culture, this power distance was extremely high. The captain on board was an unquestionable authority, while the rest of the crew were mere subordinates meant to follow orders blindly. What the flight engineer was actually trying to say to the captain was that there was a massive storm up ahead that was invisible unless seen on the radar. Juniors were not expected to stand up and defy orders, and so they tried to sugarcoat their words, which is called mitigated speech. In 1999, after a decade of these crashes, the system was entirely overhauled. Juniors were explicitly taught to stand up and challenge their captains. Since the Korean language had honorifics specifically built in to acknowledge hierarchy, they forced crews to switch to English to prevent the psychological barrier that caused the horrible crash in Guam. In my perspective, this is one of the most interesting cases in psychology where social barriers ended up becoming a matter of life or death.